Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today's CPI day. Usually you get a really big spike. That's exactly what we got this morning when news hit at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Let's see what we can do in the market on CPI day right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital put out there is at risk. Okay, so every morning, if you go back maybe a few weeks on my channel, I created a video on 5 steps on kind of getting you prepared to trade every single morning. So there's a checklist there that kind of goes and tells you to take a look at your charts, take a look at your accounts that you're using within those charts, take a look at your ATM strategies so that when you click buy or sell, you know exactly what's going to be happening. Take a look at news events that are happening that morning or that trading day. Get your journal out. So these are all kind of checklist items that you want to go through every single day so that you're prepared to trade beforehand. I like to start about 40 minutes before my session open. So by that time, I have already scanned the news. I know today at 7:30 in the morning, CPI was going to come out. At about 7:20, I went into Discord, let everybody know, hey, there's usually going to be some really big spikes. I mean, take a look at this in gold, take a look at this in oil. So those are times that are very difficult to be obviously trading, but that's just going to increase the volatility today in the markets. So there was also a news about a U.S. oil tanker that came out, which is going to directly affect or add possibly some volatility to that oil market specifically. So it's important to look at the news. Next thing is it's important to open up your journal. So get your journal open, take a look at today's date, take a look at the news events that are happening today, and compare them to the last time that news event came out. See if there was any type of edge that you can gain from now your journaling and your reference points that you have. So again, I still make mistakes with this. Obviously, you see, I started trading when I was in Florida, and I was trading in the wrong evaluation account for one day, and it cost me. It was a profitable day and didn't really count towards my goal. So I'm not trying to be here and tell you that I'm a perfect trader. I am very far from that. But at the same time, I am trying to get better every single day. And keeping those rules in play for me, I believe, is helping me out tremendously. Let's take a look at where we stand. We're currently right now at $50,258 with that smaller loss yesterday. We brought down our weekly net P&L to 642. I think it was at 900 and something yesterday. Here's our curve. And those were pretty much based on early loss in oil yesterday in session 1. I didn't trade session 2 because of oil inventory. That would have been a winner. That would have probably brought me pretty close to break even. And gold yesterday was an early winner. I did have a very nice trade in the Rob reversal, the 15-minute Rob reversal. Got 35 points right here. We got a setup to the long. We got entered, and we hit our 35 points for $700 on the funded account. So that was a great trade. And then we'll see here what today can bring. So I'm excited about the day. It might be an early session for me, just because I let everybody know in Discord already that I've got work that's I got to leave to work a little bit earlier today. So I'm going to probably, if I'm not in a trade by like 9:15, 9:30, I am probably not going to be looking at second session, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Stick around for the trades, stick around for my recap. Let's get it.
Order canceled.
All right, here we get into our first trade of the day. This is oil session one. Kind of get entered in here, get activated to the long, just pretty much by like a tick, even with that tick offset. And right off the bat, you're looking for a momentum play here, and I just don't see the momentum. So, I kind of made a hasty call saying I really didn't like the trade. So kind of put out some negative energy on this trade right off the get go. But it is what it is. This was a max size oil trade. I believe it was, the source bar was about 40. I want to say 41 or 42 ticks. So anything 40 ticks or above, I reduce it down to 35 ticks, and I'm looking for a push, and we get a small push here. We go into some profit. Obviously starting to feel a little bit better about it, and trying to put some positive vibes on the trade. And as you can see, price is kind of starting to flutter around here. Kind of stays within our entry point for a good. I got the video sped up just because the trade ended up taking, I think, I don't know, I want to say 15 minutes or so. And again, we're just pretty much stuck right next to our entry line. It seems to be always the case on these long, drawn-out trades that, you kind of get stuck, and your entry line starts to become support and resistance at the same time. But feeling okay. I'm feeling if we get a push here, I mean, we definitely have a chance to take full profit, which would be pretty freaking awesome, especially for the first trade. And then I'm looking at gold. Gold is kind of hanging around the overnight open, and kind of ranging on the right side there on the chart for gold. We've been kind of stuck in this range now for, I don't know, maybe an hour. Well, pretty much ever since the CPI news that came out and gave you that huge wick. So again, hanging out at the entry line, and then we get a strong push down, and unfortunately take a full loss on this one.
Stop filled. Order canceled.
All right, here we get into our gold trade pretty much right at the end of the session. Gold's just been sitting in this range. I think I just talked about it in my previous recap on the session one oil. But yeah, just kind of sitting in this range. Like the push. I noticed that price action obviously had gone up and got slapped pretty hard, maybe about 7 or 8 ticks above where our take profit line is here. So we do get in some pretty good profit here. We're about 50% to our full TP. And I'm actually very confident in the trade here at this point. I'm like, okay, this could very easily give us a nice little push. See if we can test that level again where we know that there is some active orders going in and out. But again, it's just, we get right back to our entry line, and that initial momentum push kind of got blocked off there. And, again, just kind of sitting patiently, took a max loss on the first oil. So this one's a pretty big trade here as well. I think this is $320. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, if we can get this trade, we'll kind of pretty much even ourselves out, maybe take a really, really small loss on the day. And I already know that if I do take a loss on this trade, that my day is over, because it would be 2 consecutive losses there. And then, we're starting to get some sellers coming in to the market here, and kind of just feeling that that kind of that downward pressure, maybe where you might want to say, hey, the market wants to retest that overnight open. They had a strong push. Buyers stepped in there. And then, so you could kind of say the same thing about both. But, here we're definitely flirting with sellers just kind of really stepping in, and at this point not feeling the best about the trade and thinking to myself, well, maybe we get a push here and we get slapped out of this trade, which would be a shame, but that's what happens.
Stop filled. Stop filled.
Took an absolute beating here today. Took a beating. Down $700. An unfortunate early two trades that were big trades. As I stated, the average trade in oil is about 26 ticks. In gold, I would say it's even less than that, maybe 21 or 22 ticks. Today we had a max trade session 1 for $350. Had some slippage on that, so I think it was 360. And then gold was a big trade. Let's pull up the charts. Let's pull up gold first. Gold, I honestly didn't even feel like we were going to get a trade. But let me show you guys here something. I hate using this rectangular tool because just gives me some flashbacks here. But we're in a range. We're in a range pretty much this whole session right here. And we get an inside bar right at 850 close, and it's right at the end of the session. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think we were going to get a trade. But we did. I think the overnight open was right around here. Is kind of bouncing off the overnight open. But I really felt like when we took this trade, this is just a feeling. I don't like to trade with feelings, so I will take the trade. But it's not like you can't think, well, I think that this is going to work or this is not going to work or whatnot. You got certain scenarios where you're thinking there's no way it's going to go up because there's an overnight open over there or there's a lot of resistance there. Well, and it works. So I've given up on that. I definitely 100% given up on that. But based on how the session was looking, to me, it was kind of an ugly stretch here in gold. We get activated to the long, and this thing went up 50% of our take profit. I think I was up about 160, maybe 170 from the video, and then just comes down and whacks us. So 32 ticks. That's $320 loss. That was a big hit. And then let's take a look at oil. Oil session 1. Again, let me just delete this so we can see. We had activated to the long right here. Now, if I take this down to the bottom of my source, 41 ticks, I am then, based on my rule, reducing it to 35 ticks, looking for a target of 35 ticks. Right there. And as you can see, trade is, we were looking okay. Again, maybe up $120. And then boom, we got a flush down, full loss, 300. I think this was a $360 loss. And based on my rules, which the rules have kind of, the last 2 days, I said, you know what, I'm not going to take this second session yesterday because of oil inventory. That trade worked. And based on my rules, which you kind of had to do, I said after 2 losses, I'm not going to take another trade. I'm down $700. I can't take another trade. I don't want to take another trade. I take that back. Inside of me, yes, I want to take that trade because I want to try to get back in the game, try to lower my losses. That is a losing idea. That is a losing idea. Would it have worked here today? Absolutely. We get, look at this. Talk about, let me delete this. Talk about a box. Talk about a range. Right there's your range. It was pretty much sitting in there for almost about an hour and 30 minutes. And we then get a double inside bar, which is now just building up pressure. And that pressure needs to be released one way or the other. And the pressure does get released to the long. This thing goes for 27 ticks in profit. Full take profit. Did I take that trade? No, I didn't. Here's why. Let's just say that this trade goes against me, okay? And I lose another $270. That's almost $1,000 lost day. With a small account, you can't sustain those type of losses and try to continue to trade day by day. The losses will soon start to become insurmountable and you're just digging yourself in a hole. So yes, I didn't take the trade, but I felt good about it because I followed my rules. I stayed within my risk management, and you know what? I'm okay with the $700 loss. I now know that my account, I'm probably going to be in a $500, $400 and something dollar in the red. But guess what? I live to fight another day. I live to fight where hopefully this strategy, I go 2-0. We've had some really great days. And just like you take 2 losses, hopefully we can make those back with 2 wins. Now, I will say, in my cash account, I was down. I didn't take the NQ trade. I think I was down. I don't know. I think it was down almost $400. I remember seeing a 4 in the number. And as I mentioned in Discord, I said I'm done on the eval after the 2 losses, but I'm definitely going to be taking a look at session 2 in oil. At least I took full take profit there, reduced my loss. Definitely I was in the red today on the cash account, but this last trade here helped me out tremendously. So not all days are green. And I think I show that. I think I show that every single day. The strategy, since there is no discretion in my strategies, there's no way to bullshit about the strategies. There's no way to just look at the chart and say, well, you didn't take that supply and demand zone because it was retested maybe once or twice, or you got the bounce off of the EMA, or you got the overnight open, you got this, you got that. There's traders out there that are fantastic at that. I am not. I know I took my medicine today and I would not take another trade. I'll wait for tomorrow and I'll wait to see what happens tomorrow. That's it. That's all I got. Rob reversal today. We had a setup here in the morning. This is 7:15 a.m. So this is outside of our time. We get a long setup here, closes below the ADMA. We get another long setup here, below the ADMA, no trades. I'm done for the day. I actually needed to leave a little bit earlier today, back to do the video, but I am done. I am done trading for the day. I am looking forward to seeing what the market's going to give us tomorrow. So sometimes you gotta take the positives out of the negative. I've been told many times that, Rob, you're too positive sometimes. Well, shit, it's better than being negative all the time. In fact, I made a comment in my Discord, session 1 oil. The second we got into that trade, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up here. Let's see where it was at. Right here. Where was the trade at? Oh, right here. Okay. So the second that this thing got us into this trade, it reversed on us. Excuse me. It reversed on us, and I go on there and I'm like, do not like this. Do not like what's happening right now. It was like the first 30 seconds of the trade. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? You're an idiot. Why are you even saying that? It's like, I don't know. I kind of feel like you put positive energy out there. Got my money tree right there. So you got to put some positive energy. Not like that's going to change the market. Obviously, I know that. I'm not an idiot. But I changed my tune pretty quickly. And we had a fighting chance, but this thing just reversed on me and knocked me out for a pretty damn good loss. So let me know. Let me know how you guys did today. CPI kicked my butt. And then what do I do with that information? Now in my journal, I show my trades. I put my notes in. I even put my notes in on the first session in oil. I put in my journal. I had a negative feeling at the beginning of that trade. So I try to document how I am feeling in that trade, and I reference CPI in there so that I know the next time we have CPI, is it going to change my strategy? No. Is it going to change if I take a trade? Maybe not. But at least now I have something to reference, and you have something to hopefully to build some type of experience from. That's what this trading game is all about. It's trying to build some experience, hopefully stay in the green, hopefully trade another day. I'm waiting to see you guys tomorrow. Happy trading, everyone.